that it will be a podcast, and today afternoon I was briefed that I'll be meeting some of the very prominent leader of this chamber. And when I see you, it's an absolute delight. So thank you very much for taking the time and coming all the way to our office here. I get your name right, Vipin. Yeah. So let me put it this way, Vipin. Lot of us who we are is all about our upbringing, especially our childhood. So one of the key moments which triggered me was, I still remember my grade 9 parents-teacher meeting, in school. So I have a younger sister. We both study together in the same school. Parents-teacher meeting used to be the most toughest day for me every year. That was not new. Because my younger sister will always come first and I'll always be somewhere in the middle. And just imagine, same set of parents meeting my teacher for my sister and then meeting me. So I was used to having tough time. I used to avoid basic spirituality. But in grade 9, one of my teacher who really cares for me, she asked my mother that if he adopted son or what. Because my mother was a professor and she was the principal of B.Ed college, and a lot of teachers have graduated from that B.Ed college. My father was a gold medalist working in the HR professional from Tata Steel. And my sister always come first, not even second. And here is the son that in 3 terms, 2 he will pass, 1 he might fail. So that was a turning point for me. And, I said that, look, it is important that I also become a good son. My parent has to be proud of me. So that motivated me, Adwi, that, it is important that you make your parents proud.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you for that. Purely from a career perspective, I mean, since you started at Coca-Cola to now today, right? If you could share, let's say, 1 or 2 moments of realization or of the direction in which you want to do, right? If you could do that, I think we have a lot of aspiring leaders over here as well, along with accomplished leaders. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, look, I think there are very senior leaders here. And let me put it this way. There were 1 or 2 turning points for me. But the underline have been consistent. First underline that my ambition was always bigger than the resources I have. I was never scared of thinking bold, thinking big. That is how I was from my childhood days. But the turning point, one of the turning point was, I was in a state called Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh, Bharti Airtel used to be the 4th operator. And within my 3 years stay though, we came close to become number 1. It became a case study. How come in a 1800 megawatt frequency and all, so our chairman, CEO, everyone planned to visit there. And the unique thing was my Gallup engagement score. I had around 200 plus employees, was 4.99. So 2 things happened. One, they did an audit on that. Is that correct or not? And they found correct. So they visited, and I was not knowing them. So when they visited, after that visit, I thought that I will get a bigger job. But what was offered to me was a head of HR role. So I was going to Delhi, and I was told that, look, companies like Unilever, Infosys, they have been moving people from business to HR and back to business. And Sunil was very impressed how you are managing people, and, I think we also want to test that. So my immediate reaction to my boss was, he was a senior guy. He said, if you don't have a role for me, it's okay. You tell me. He said, no, it is not like that. It is more for me. And his advice was to don't talk to too many people. Talk to few people and then decide. And he gave me an article which has come on Economic Times. And he said, it is more for you, Vikram. Don't worry about anything else. So I took his input very seriously. I came back home and then, I was very confused. So on one side, when I spoke to few people, they said, oh, look, if you do this, after 2 years, neither you will be an HR guy, nor you will be a business guy. So then I went to my dad. Again, I told him I want to get into it for 2 years. See, he smiled at me. He said, first, don't get into anything with the mindset that you are getting into for 2 years. What you will do, let time decide. He said that if you really want to get into it and do a good job, just get into it. And don't listen, don't look back. Let it be at that. And then, he said, it is so important to grow within the organization. Don't be a rolling stone. Don't keep changing. Just now on the lift, I met somebody from Jamshedpur. So he told me and he said, if you want, you can talk to Dr. Gigi Rani. He was that time sitting on many important boards. He was on HDFC board. So I had a brief lunch with him and he sent the same thing, that don't be a rolling stone. If your company is considering yourself for something, at least give your best. So I did that HR report. I did that HR report. And what it did, how did at the age of 34, what it did is, it gives me a horizontal learning of the entire organization. See, HR, if supported by CEO, is a custodian of the business, not only CFO. A lot of people say that CFO is a custodian. Equally, because we are all in the people business, how important is HR role? It all depends upon the CEO. He wants to make it as an administrative role, or he wants to make it as a powerful engine, because HR has visibility to all finishing. And when I did that role, that was the only time where my incremental learning was highest. I was a hardcore sales, then sales and marketing guy. So that moment gave me an opportunity where I got considered for a KD CEO role at the age of 37. If I would have not done that role, I would have not been considered. So the point is, if you get an opportunity, don't think whether you are ready, not ready. If you believe in it, it is not whether what you have been given is right or wrong. How much you believe on it and how much you back yourself is what matters. So I think after that, I got into this journey. I've been very lucky to be doing a PLL role for close to 10, 12 years now. So that was a turning point. Thank you, Chief.
Vikram, I think Vinod just spoke about your journey. You worked across countries from Africa to different parts of Asia. You've had leadership roles across these geographies. How do you adapt as a leader, when it comes to different countries? And now Indonesia, looking at the cultural nuances, you're clearly one of the most popular leaders out here. How have you adapted, in the last few years?
Yet I call myself a global citizen. So the first rule is to generally try and learn the good things about whichever country you are in. I started my international exposure from a country called Seychelles, 90,000 population. My friends used to make fun that you are Latin, so I stopped defending myself. Yes, I am party. But the point which I am trying to tell you is, first example, weird example arguably. In Seychelles, out of 12 direct reportees, 11 was women. And coming from India, when you meet your direct report, you talk about how is your family, how many children you have. You take your note. I was doing that. In the third meeting, I realized I am doing wrong things. They don't believe in marriage. They live in living relationship. How many chances? They and they are laughing at me. What are you writing? I don't even remember how many children. It's a cultural context. In India, for me, that was a ritual. That shows respect. So what the prime which I'm trying to say is you have to adapt. Don't expect other to adapt to you. How quickly you adapt and how quickly you respect everything, whether it is Seychelles, whether it is Myanmar, whether it is Doha, I think more so in Indonesia, there are all politics. How do you build on politics instead of talking about weaknesses and talking about negative things? Whereas coming here also, 2019 January, I was in Doha to take a briefing, and I was told that, you will get a very slow pace. You're going to see people be very ambitious. They are all very happy. They will say, siya, things will not happen. This is not only here. I've been told something similar even in Africa, or in Myanmar. But what I picked up, I became a big fan of Indonesia because what we saw is how good people are. It is not Jakarta. You go to Kalimantan, you go to Surabaya, you go deep. The more deeper you go, what I saw is people genuinely respect you. They are not trying to be over smart. It is up to you how you write the standard operating process. Once you write it simply, they follow better than India, better than any other part of the country I have worked. So the point which I'm trying to tell you is the choice is yours. You pick up politics, you adapt to it, you build on it. So I'm a big born optimistic. So I enjoy, all the politics, and that has helped me in my journey of being optimistic. Simple example I'll give you. I don't think so anywhere in the world you will see a liftman also doing his duty with so much of happiness and discipline. What you see, that talks a volume on the politics. If you really give him job, give him respect, he will do whatever it takes. So it's a bit of adapting to the place, then trying to teach.
Vikram, just to follow up on this room probably will have a lot of people starting out also new in Indonesia. What, according to you, would be your 2 to 3 key success mantras to navigate Indonesia and a place which you love so much? What do you think will work for them? It clearly worked for you.
For me, strategy is what not to do. Get your negativeness right. I think if you are going your global expat goal first time, I think you have to really first focus on what not to do. Don't comparing what you have learned and what you have seen. Please come with an open mind, and I would try to adapt and draw a bigger line. So in terms of what not to do, I think where people go wrong is, they say, oh, this, I've done it 5 years back. I know much better. Then why are you here? So I think I will keep it simple. It is very important to pick up 2 things what not to do. One, I'll say that don't try to bring your best practices. First 6 months, try to learn and understand, connect with people, win their heart, try to be with them in their sky. You will get more than what you would have thought.
Dude, this is absolute gold. This is absolute gold. I mean, I am just taking, if I would have gotten this kind of an advice when I started 8 years back, I think it would have been very different. Chief, in a lot of my conversation with leaders and CXOs across, one thing which I've realized is hiring per se is one of the biggest KPIs, right? Building leaders and hiring leaders. I personally know a couple of them at Indosat who've been hired by you. I'm not going to take names. But I want to understand from you, how do you go about it, right? I mean, B1 is identifying the key traits in the candidates. And second, sharing the vision, right? What does Indosat stand for? Where do you see it going? How do you communicate this? Because it's very personal, I can completely understand that, right? How do you go about doing that? First, identification, and second, convincing.
Let me, one thing I've learned, you don't hire people, you rent people. There's a big difference between hiring or renting. What do I mean? So let me step back. First, throughout my career, I have been able to do well because I always surround myself with people who are better than me. Rule one. Those people will push you out. So the first rule is surround yourself with people who are better than you. If you are insecure, then it's not going to happen. Second, if you are renting people, I shared it to my leadership group over the weekend. This concept of renting people is very powerful. What does that mean? Nobody is going to retire with cheap rate. They will come, allow them to bring their attitude, allow them to bring what best they have, give them the conducive environment. And once they grow, they will inspire many more to come and join me. So that has really helped us on making sure that we hire for attitude, we hire for integrity, we hire for Khavardali system.
Thank you, Chief. I think this is going to be our last question before we get into the presentation. What's next in telco, right? There are two questions sent to us. One is, in your view, what's next in telco on a global level? And second is the whole integration of AI and Indosat, which is going on, right? We keep reading about it. We keep hearing about it. If you would probably simplify it, right, in terms of use cases and what's next, that would be great.
No, again, what next on telco, I think I have been asked to put up a presentation. So that will help me simulate that. But something much more powerful and important, and I think all of you are here, and I know many of you, I'm only here for 6 years, but many of you are here for 30 years and plus, and all of you are both committed for Indonesia. I think AI is a pivot moment, and I'll try to show you few facts, and I'll try to spend time on use cases also. But again, what is important is how we all connect with the larger purpose. If we are transactional, it will be transactional. So maybe through my presentation, I'll build my last question. Yeah?
Thank you, Chief.